That's President William Ruto now introducing his guests, the cabinet ministers to his guest, his guests to his cabinet. Can be either way. I see now the security advisor to the president, that is Monica Juma. I think the rest of the cabinet have done. P.S. Korir Singwe of Foreign Affairs. We also have the former governor for Turkana, who is now the deputy chief of staff, that is Nanok Josephat. And once he's done with that lineup of introducing the cabinet members and his advisors, as well as some of his senior staff, then the president and the King Charles will retreat for bilateral talks. Remember, there's also state banquets planned in honor of the king. The king will also be at the Rural Gardens and also the new museum, where he is also expected to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown warrior, and that is part of his program today, and of course a state banquet. The choice of car is very interesting, as you were saying, although Arnold says now Land Rover has since become Indian. But it is quite interesting, particularly when they're in foreign nations, because even looking at the Queen, even when Prince William was here, the choice of cars is very interesting for the royals, probably trying to promote the UK brand, although Arnold insists it has since changed hands. Quite an interesting one. Coming back to you, Daktari, obviously as the retreat of bilateral talks, you had some revelation from the clamor for apology.
No, I just wanted to weigh in on what Arnold was talking about.
Hold on, something is interesting here.
Yes.
Because normally you expect them, there's a door they use once he's done with these introductions to head out for the bilaterals. It appears like he's going to be shown around the gardens and the lawns of State House, isn't it? Yes. This was formerly in the governor's mansion during the colonial rule. Is it the first time for Prince Charles to access State House? No. He's been there before. Of course, as Prince, that is the first time he's heading there as the head of the British monarchy. And Queen Camilla in town, accompanied by the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto. And this chit-chat between him and the president has really been on for some time. Oh, he's going to plant a tree at State House. There's quite a camaraderie between him and the president, probably illustrious of the warmth of King Charles. And Queen Camilla is also going to plant a tree. Officers from the Kenya Forest Service probably to explain what kind of a tree this is that the king is going to plant today. And of course this is in line with the entire conversation being driven by President William Ruto on climate change and the need for boosting Kenya's tree cover. Only that for this time the tree is being planted in State House. And part of the bilateral conversations that the president will have with King Charles also majors on climate change. You will remember that President William Ruto is leading his fellow heads of state in the African Union. He's actually the chairperson of that committee on climate change, really driving the agenda and the engagements around climate change, and therefore the need for King Charles to plant this commemorative tree at State House, Nairobi. Queen Camilla has also planted a tree, and that is before they retreat for bilaterals. And this is, different from what we've seen Traditionally, we've only seen once the president introduces the visiting head of state or head of government to his cabinet. Of his administration, they normally retreat for bilateral talks. But what we are seeing today is that before the bilateral conversation, we see the king being guided to State House, guided to the backyard for the planting of a commemorative tree. And the conversation continues, both gentlemen really in engagement. Somebody was making a remark that he would have wanted to see what the handshake between the president and the king looks like, because President William Ruto is known for very firm handshakes, but then there is what you call the royal protocol, whether that was going to play out. But then again, we wait to see, because we didn't have a frontal view of the arrival of the king. I'm sure State House will provide us with footage around it. And you can tell these are pregnant memories for the king as he visits Kenya once more, this time as king and the head of the British monarchy, so many years on. So at this point, I think we're going to retreat to State House for the bilateral talks. If there's anything else, we'll still tell you what it is. Sorry, Dr. Ken, I had to disrupt you. Go ahead.
I was saying, I'll be very surprised if King Charles III give an apology for the atrocities the British committed here. And broadly, there are two reasons for this. One is the obvious one. If you open up Pandora's box, if that old English saying from Greek mythology, anything to go back, at its height, the British Empire, occupied almost 2/3 of the world. From Malaysia to America, from American parts of Canada, Australia, name it. And in all these places, they committed horrendous acts of atrocity. From India, the Jallianwala massacre of 1919, come locally here, the Sotik massacre that nobody talks about. Displaced the people and created a corridor that the British needed. So if they do it here, then they will have to do it everywhere in the world. And Britain is a fairly weak country internationally right now, and they may not have the wherewithal to do that. That's why I don't foresee an apology coming in. And the second one, sounds a bit strange, is what I call political masculinity. The world is in the grip of men. Colonialism was actually the handwork of men, and it's not in the nature of men to apologize for anything. It didn't start yesterday. And expecting the predominantly patriarchal British system